Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Stupid is the Norm, the channel where we demonstrate how to become a millionaire in 10 years on minimum wage. And in this video I'm going to explain to you the fundamentals of wealth. If you just do these basic fundamental things, you will become wealthy inevitably. Well, this week I heard two things which really set me back on my heels. It's November 2022 by the way, if you're watching this in the future. I heard on Radio 4 that 26% of the population of the UK had less than £100 saved up in the bank. 26%, that's over a quarter of the population, less than £100. The second thing was, I'm a cab driver, those of you who don't know, and I picked up a fare and she was telling me the story about a friend of hers who was on minimum wage, just had a baby, living in a council house. Not that that's wrong, I lived in a council house till I was 16 and joined the forces. Lived in a council house and had just spent £3,000 buying 2 puppy dogs for her grandma's Christmas present. So let's deal with the second one first. Now, first of all, let me say that I'm aware that we all see the world from a different perspective. Our perspective is made up of our experiences and knowledge we've gathered so far through our life. So we're all very different, and therefore we should be slow to judge others. However, given that we live in an unstable world right now, and setting aside the potential for the girl being happy, being able to provide a lovely present for her grandmother, and her grandmother being happy at the receipt of 2 puppy dogs, notwithstanding the 6 weeks or so of cleaning up dog mess from the floor she's got to go through, all that aside, I'm pretty sure that £3,000 would be better off saved in the bank account as a cushion for some of the potential nasties that are coming all our ways. Now, kudos to the girl for having saved up £3,000. She's just had a baby as well. So well done for saving the £3,000. But you know, if you're saving money up to spend in the future, it's not really saving. It's definitely not investing. It's just an allocation of funds for future spending. But it does appear, given her own behaviour and the fact that 26% of the people in the UK have less than £100, that some people just are unable to stop spending all the money. And what it reminded me of is that there are very few basic fundamental things that anybody needs to do, anybody who wants to be wealthy that is, in order to become wealthy. And one of them, the most fundamental, the most important one of all, is don't spend all your money. Because if you always spend all your money, you'll never be wealthy. So what are the other fundamentals? Well, first one, as I said, is don't spend all your money. The sort of target you should be looking for, an ideal target, is to get your non-discretionary spending, that is all the things that you have to pay, gas, electricity, council tax, living costs in terms of whether it's rent or mortgage and food. Get those down to 50%. It's an ideal. I save probably about 60% of what I earn because I've left it too late. You don't want to be as stupid as I have. Do this as soon as possible. Try and target getting that spending down to 50%, and then you'll have a head start. Then you've got at least some chance of becoming wealthy in a fairly short time. Now, I get a lot of pushback here because people, not surprisingly, will say that it's okay for you, Perry, you're willing to work 80 hours, 60, 80 hours a week, but some of us can't do family commitments. I understand there's lots of stresses and lots of reasons why it's difficult to get that down to 50%. But if you're not making enough money, there are only 2 solutions to this. Either you cut back on your spending or you generate more money. So you want to do, if it's cutting back your money, it's the easiest thing to do is to cut back on the larger bills, the mortgage. We're all suffering through higher interest rates now. If you're stuck on the standard variable rate, that is, if you haven't moved your mortgage in the last 2 years, you're probably on the standard variable rate. You'll be paying way too much for your mortgage, and you should chat to a mortgage broker to get you on a reduced discounted rate. Do that, could save you a couple of £100 a month. Next thing you need to do is look at your debt. If you have any debt, move everything to the lowest possible interest rate. So if you've got credit cards paying 18%, take out a personal loan, probably get it around 8 or 9% now, and use that money to pay off the credit cards. That alone might save you another £100, £200 a month. But you need to start cutting back on bills. Generating income, the easiest way to do this is just to work more hours. If you're in an hourly paid job, work more hours. But it's fundamental, again, there's just 2 ways of doing this. Cut costs, increase income. So now you're saving as much of your income as possible, either by cutting costs or increasing income, or perhaps both. The next fundamental thing is you can't keep it in the bank. You can't keep it in the bank because A, you're getting a terrible interest rate, and inflation is about 10% now. So if you're getting a 1% interest rate, you're actually losing 9% a year on your money. So leaving it in the bank doesn't work unless it's for emergency funds. So now you need to take that hard-earned money and put it in a wealth accelerator. There's only two wealth accelerators: stocks and shares and property. Again, fundamental. It's dead easy. There's only two choices. So ask yourself, do I want to do this really quickly, that is to say in 10 years or so, get enough to retire in 10 years, or am I willing to take a stroll towards my wealth and do it with less stress over 10, 20 or 30 or 40 years even? Well, if you want to take a stroll, it's stocks and shares. And if you want to do it really quickly, it's property. Again, it's dead simple. It's fundamental. Don't be distracted by all the complicated stuff, things like forex trading, picking stocks, cryptocurrency, all that betting on horses, winning the lottery. It's all peripheral stuff. Get the fundamentals right, and then you can do the exotic stuff, but get the fundamentals right first. So it's work as hard as you can, save as much as you can, invest it in one of two ways: stocks and shares or property, and then wait. Get the fundamentals right. But the greatest fundamental of all is don't spend all your money. Don't be stupid and don't be normal, guys.